Boston. I'm a project manager with the Boston Parks Department, and one of my areas, one of my project areas is dog parks. So you know there's been a temporary dog park at DeFilippo Park or the Gassy, and that was grant funded. And now we received a further grant from the Stanton Foundation to, based on the success of the temporary park, to install a permanent park. Kyle Dick is a landscape architect who has been hired to design the project, and he made some handouts that show renderings of the proposed park, and he can tell you more about them.
So there's about 30 handouts filtering around. There's probably not enough for everybody to have their own, so you can share with your neighbors. There's 3 or 4 pages there. The first one is kind of an aerial view of that portion of DeFilippo Park. That is the terraced part of the park, which is where the temporary dog park is now. And the whole idea of this grant and the improvements to the park is to make it permanent, and to do that, make it specifically for dog use. So today, it's adapted in terms of the dog use is on brick and concrete and working around the stairs. And that won't change, although we'll be adding features that are strictly appropriate for dogs and dog users. So if you flip to the second page, there's a plan view or an aerial view of the park. If you're familiar with it, it's terraced into 3 levels, 2 that are used for dogs, the upper level for small dogs, the lower level for larger dogs. You'll see a lot of green on that plan. We're not planting grass. It has a special artificial turf for dog parks that will be put down on top of the pavement. And that is good for the dog paws and running around, but also easy to clean up. And it will be an automatic sprinkler system installed so that it will get rinsed and will be hygienic. Yes. On that plan, there's some small numbers, 1, 2, 3, all the way through 6, and they're showing views. If you flip to other pages, that corresponds with the view that you would see in 3 dimensions. So the views 1, 2, and 3 are for the larger dog area, which is the lower level. And it's very purposeful that dog parks are separated by small dogs and large dogs. So the larger dog area has more space because they need a little more room to run around. Generally, the space is fairly open. There are seating opportunities for users, dog owners, but then there are some agility elements as part of the dog park as well. Could be steps, could be pipes to run through, but some different activities that make it interesting for dogs and dog users. There's also, if you flip one more page to the upper level, which is for the small dogs, similar to some of the temporary things that are there now, there's some of those wooden ramps that take you from the ground level up to the raised planters. Those will be formalized and made with more durable materials. But again, it's a simple idea. Keep it open, keep it very flexible for the dogs themselves, but also the dog owners.
Are these final design?
No, these are concepts that we're looking for input from the
Talk about funding. Where's the money coming from?
The design is 100% grant funded. The construction is 90% grant funded, and then the remaining 10% will be paid by the city of Boston. It's the Stanton Foundation. He was one of the major networks. He was one of their executives, and CBS, president of CBS News, and he was wealthy and loved dogs. So.
I see tons of dogs, and people walk with dogs in my area. It looks like they don't even know it. They walk down towards Knox Square, they go to Richmond Street, or they walk down Fleet Street, down Fleet Street. They don't seem like they know about the dogs. And they throw their dogs all over the street anyway. So there's a lot of people that don't know about the dogs. But there's a lot of people responsible about all this stuff.
Yeah, no, that's something that exists all over the city. We believe, based on reports, that there's been less incidences, at least near the park, of dog waste At least that's what's been reported to me by people that live adjacent to the Gassy. That's our hope, is that when there's parks, the dog owners, particularly Rough, is a very responsible group, and they motivate other users and tell them. It's got to be self-policing. I mean, we're not going to have like a, you know, a poop police or something like that. We can, I can certainly talk to our marketing department and, you know, mention when it's complete, there'll probably be an opening. I can't speak for the mayor, but I imagine that's the kind of activity that the mayor might want to attend. And I think Rough also does a good job. They have a monthly newsletter, and I know they're very active and do fundraisers and things like that.
You might notice if you've gone into any of the neighborhood parks and playgrounds that Rough has signage up advertising the existence of not just the dog run on Richmond Street, but also the fact that the flights in the Gassy are a dog park as well. So.
Not all dog owners want to go to dog parks. I have three dogs myself, and I would.
They don't want to walk that high.
No, my dogs don't like other dogs. Like, I would never bring my dogs to a dog park because they couldn't get along. I mean, they're real little, but it's.
Mr. President, both Matt and I have publicized this park well over a year. My paper's done a story on the dog park, every single issue, and special events that they've done and everything. And Rough has been to every major event, getting a nothing against drugs, and presented these plans. And so the word has got around.
Yeah.
It's people that don't want to use the park. That's what you see.
My house last Friday morning.
I'm saying you're right, I'm not saying you're wrong, but we've done plenty of that.
The current park also, it's great, first of all, it's well used when you consider. But it's a temporary park right now. I mean, dogs running on cement is not ideal, and I'm sure there are a lot of owners that are saying, I don't know if I want to bring. But looking at this concept, I think you'll see a lot more canines taking advantage of this. That's great. And a fire hydrant that fights back. Who knew such a thing existed?
What do they do? Are they on the dogs?
Well, a misting hydrant. It sounds like, yeah.
Does anyone have any questions about the park?
Yeah, Kelly, what's your schedule?
The schedule?
The schedule, yeah.
Well, we haven't decided construction-wise if it's going to take place this year or next spring, because unfortunately, as a municipality, we have to follow state and local bidding laws, and then we have like an internal contracting procedure. And unfortunately, well, it used to be like, I think we said, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks that it would take after we get the bids back to have the contract come through. Now, unfortunately, I'm embarrassed to say that recently it's taken 3 months for contracts to come through. And if they come back quickly, it would be nice to do something in the fall, but we have been discussing that what would be the point of opening a dog park and putting down new, specialized canine turf in November, right before, winter. So as much as I really, and I know Rough really wanted to do this project this year, it may not, the construction may not occur till next year.
When will the schedule be, when will it be more clear?
I think probably by the end of this month we'll have a better sense, because there's just some of the approval process and just refining the design after getting comment, we'll have a better sense.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. Can you talk about access? I don't know if Rough can do it as well. I was with my godson at the swing park, and then there was a couple of dog owners who couldn't get in. Is there a time, like what is the... how does that work? Because
we have
the dogs had nowhere to go, they went in the grass.
We've had automatic locks installed on the gates, but unfortunately, we've had a lot of problems getting them functioning. And so they've been, particularly the lower one, it's been malfunctioning. And so we've been back and forth with the installer and tech support, and it shouldn't be like that. It will be resolved, but it will be open from 6:30 I think to 9 p.m.
So anyone could use
Yes,
that,
that's
no
correct.
code or anything?
No, there's be no code.
So it's just
It'll
a
open.
timing
Yeah, it's a
mechanism.
timing. It's a timing lock. So this past winter, dedicated rough members were getting up in the morning and unlocking it and then going and locking it at night. So it's.
And I live across the street and I see no issues. I mean,
Yeah.
at least I don't think it's rough problem, and there's doggies on the street, that is a huge problem for me, but, I think it's better this time than being
Dave Kubiak, Cleveland Place. I support the dog park wholeheartedly. Got a couple of comments. One is, I look at these plans and I think, why don't we have children's parks as nice as this? And when I look at what's in this park, kids would love what's in this park. Misting hydrants, and tubes to crawl through, and all. It's great for kids too. And I wish there were wealthy people out there willing to fund these kinds of fantastic parks for children. We treat dogs better than we're treating children.
I have first of all, those are not expensive things. Those are.
Like concrete pipe that you use.
That's
for
like-
sewer.
Even more reason. So, and you're from Boston Parks.
Yes.
Tell your
But
the person next to you at the office.
One thing is that for parks like that, they go through a community process. And it's the community that chooses what goes into the parks and the playgrounds.
My other comment is,
So
David, thanks for mentioning that there are signs, and Ralph is putting up signs at certain locations, other parks, telling dog owners that the dog park exists. That's great, trying to get them to move to that dog park. I've always said during this whole last few years of planning this park that I support the dog park, I'll support a dog park somewhere else as well. But in return, I think there needs to be further restrictions on dogs in other parks, in people parks. And I haven't been to the Gassy in a while. Are there signs in the rest of the Gassy, especially right next to where the dog park is, that says that no dogs are allowed there?
There are signs clearly posted all over the playgrounds and the courts area in the Gassy saying that dogs
That it
are
is
prohibited.
prohibited?
That's right.
Good, okay. And I hope it's
The
enforced.
city has had those signs up forever. It's just that people have chosen not to pay attention to them in the past.
Because we're not allowed in the dog park if we don't have a dog, so the public is
Well,
generally allowed.
you're certainly allowed to pass through, and if you'd like to be invited into the park, no one's going to keep you out. It's still part of a city park, so we can't keep people from using the access way to pass through the park.
So it is open to, and not that
It's
anyone
open
will want to go
during,
in
it's
there
open
without a
during
dog.
open hours. It's closed at night.
You can go and play in there, friend.
There's not a
Oh, I
dog
thought there was
file.
a combination of something that just.
No, it's open. I was just saying there's been a problem with our automatic lock. We still haven't
Yeah.
made it function correctly. So if it's locked, it's waiting for the repairman.
Yes.
Yeah, I just noticed people up there, and it looks like they're doing a combination, but I guess, okay.
We have a comment from the
Leslie
principal.
Moore, I'm actually with Ruff. But I just wanted to actually touch on your point about people using the park. We highly encourage that. We have a group of girls that live close by to the park who don't own a dog, and they love dogs, and they come to the park almost every day and sweep in the summer and say hi to us and update us on what's been happening in the park, and it's been fantastic. And we've recently started working with some of the elderly in the neighborhood, and we've been doing house visits, but we've already also encouraged them to come and sit in the park and just enjoy the dogs. That's kind of what it's there for. We're building a park for the community. It's not for dogs, it's for the North End. It's
Thank
for
you.
everybody. So everybody is welcome. You can walk in and out. It's unlocked from 6:30 to 9, and we hope everyone will use it, especially when it's nice and cleaned up and has water and nice seats. So look forward to that. But please, everyone's welcome. It's not just for the dog park.
Any other questions or
Well,
comments?
not everybody's welcome. If you're smoking, drinking, or using drugs, you're not welcome. Everybody else is welcome.
And you can't use the hydrant.
That's not what it's there for.
Missing not allowed. I wanted to acknowledge our state representative and the chairman of the finance committee has joined us. I've been told just now that you were here, but I understand you were here earlier, which is
I snuck in.
Oh, good, excellent. Well, anyway, so welcome. Do you have anything you want to say?
I'll wait till after the dog discussion, but yeah, I actually want to say something.
Any closing comments on the dog park? Leslie, I think that what you said about everyone enjoying it, I think is well said. I also want to call out, Ruff, that you guys run events like the dog shows that you've had, which are neighborhood events where everyone can have a great time. So I concur that this is a community resource. And you were
I just wanted to, I was just been so pleased with the success of the temporary park, and I've been impressed by Ruff's dedication to the process, and it's really been a great project.
Well, we thank the Parks Department too. You guys have been good partners, and we really appreciate it. And it's great to have a funder as well. So.
Oh, yeah, that's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.